Once upon a time, in a quiet valley surrounded by tall green hills, there lived a 25-year-old man named Ethan. Ethan was kind and hard-working, but his heart was never calm. His mind kept running and from one thought to another. He worried about his future, regretted his past, and rarely felt peaceful. Every night, Ethan stared at the ceiling, unable to sleep. "Why can't I stop thinking?" he would whisper to himself. Even when he smiled, his eyes looked tired. One morning, an old traveler passing through the village told Ethan about a wise monk who lived near the mountains. The monk was once a great teacher in the city, known for helping people find peace and clarity. But years ago, he left everything behind, and his fame, his students, his wealth, and moved to a small hut near a river. People said that anyone who met him learned something that changed their life forever. Ethan thought for a moment, then decided, "I must go. Maybe this man can help me understand my restless mind." So he packed some food and started his journey. The path was long, the weather hot, and his legs grew tired. But he kept walking with hope. After 2 days, he finally reached a small hut beside a flowing river. The monk was sitting by the water, silently watching the ripples. His face was calm, like still water reflecting the sky. Ethan bowed and said softly, "Master, my mind is always full of noise. I feel tired and lost. Please teach me how to find peace." The monk smiled gently and said, "All right, but first I'll give you a simple task." He handed Ethan a small bowl filled to the brim with water and said, "Walk along the river from here to that large stone and come back, but remember, not a single drop should fall." Ethan nodded and began carefully walking. The ground was uneven, birds were flying overhead, and the wind was blowing through the trees. But Ethan's focus stayed only on the bowl in his hands. He took each step slowly, watching every ripple of water, careful not to spill. When he returned, the monk asked with a smile, "Did you notice the sound of the river?" Ethan shook his head. "No, master. I was only looking at the water." "Did you see the beautiful flowers along the path?" Again, Ethan said, "No, I didn't." The monk chuckled softly. "That, my son, is what happens when your mind holds on too tightly. You miss the beauty around you." Ethan looked confused. "But master, you told me not to spill the water." The monk nodded. "Yes, and you did well. Now go again. This time keep the bowl steady, but also enjoy the walk. Listen to the river. Feel the breeze. Notice the flowers. Be present, not lost in thoughts and not lost in fear." Ethan took a deep breath and walked again. This time he moved calmly, aware of his steps, the sound of the water, the warmth of the sunlight. When he came back, he was smiling. "I understand now," he said. "When I focus too much on controlling everything, I lose peace. But when I stay present, aware yet calm, I feel free." The monk smiled. "Exactly. Peace doesn't come from escaping life. It comes from being with life fully, here, in this moment." As the sun began to set, the river glowed golden. Ethan bowed deeply to the monk and said, "Thank you, master. I will remember this lesson every day." When he walked back to his village, the same road looked different, brighter, softer, more alive. He was no longer running away from his thoughts. He was walking beside them peacefully. And from that day on, Ethan's heart was quiet like the river, flowing, calm and full of life. Or if you enjoyed this story, give it a like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more peaceful and inspiring stories. Until next time, stay calm, stay kind, and keep your heart like a flowing river.